right, guys, what is up? It is Hector Flores, host of the Insert Name FC podcast, a member of the BellyUpSports Media Network. You can find us on all things podcasting, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast fix from. You will find us there. Obviously, make sure you guys check them out. Also, video version of this podcast is available on BellyUp's YouTube channel. So if you guys want to see the full video version of this podcast, that is one of the avenues you can check it out. And of course, GolzTV, GolzTV. You can find the full video version of the podcast there as well, which I highly recommend. A lot of free content over there on GolzTV. Go ahead and check it out, man. You're gonna find something that's definitely up your alley, especially if you're a fan of soccer here in the United States. So, also, Insert MC does have a YouTube channel, so something that we do with these episodes, we break them down into short videos, so you can watch it on our YouTube channel at Insert Name FC. That's another avenue that you can also watch. Those videos will also be available on GolzTV. And follow us on social media on Instagram, X, Facebook at Insert Name FC, YouTube, like I just mentioned, at Insert Name FC. So you can see what all the stuff we're posting there on the regular. But yeah, this episode, Edward's back. So me and Edward, we go ahead and talk about the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, congratulations to Ousmane Dembele for being the 2025 Ballon d'Or winner, respectively. So we'll get into all that, talk about the other awards that were given, and also talk about the top 10 for the 2025 Ballon d'Or. This episode is also going to feature an interview. We have Majeeb Murana. We had him on a while back. We talked about his time going. Well, the last interview, we talked about his time going through the academy system, going through college soccer, and then to where he was at the time within the USL. This episode, this interview is essentially kind of an update where he's gone so far in his career and maybe some of the things he's doing to get back into a professional club, but also a passion project that he truly and utterly believes in. So we do talk about that as well. So, and of course, we got Players of the Week, games to watch this coming weekend, and pretty straightforward episode, man. So, like I said, it's an interesting episode, really cool one to enjoy. So, a lot to discuss. So, and also, fun fact, by the time this episode drops, I'm actually going to be heading to El Salvador. So, I'm going to figure out, there should be another episode next week. I just need because I will be back in Houston within a reasonable amount of time to, make some recordings, but it's just going to be, figuring out the topics and all that. So we'll see how that all goes, but there should be an episode next week. But yeah, if the episode's maybe slightly shorter or something else, it's probably going to be because of me just happening to be flying back from El Salvador. But with all that being said, man, yeah, that's very much the episode. So we're going to go ahead and take a break and then go right into Ballon d'Or with Edward Robles. Let me tell you guys about BellyUpSports. BellyUpSports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. BellyUpSports is the premier, not your average website. All right, guys, it is that time again where your two lovable award nominated podcast hosts talk about some topic that I'm sure is going to piss somebody off in some aspect. But Edward, you're back. It's my weekend with you. Your boys are not
with their
winning
mom
this time.
Instead of me getting custody of the boys, it's more of a Hector gets custody of me.
It's just not fair.
Listen, you and the boys reached this agreement.
You said this was my weekend.
Right?
You said I get the Christmas holiday.
Oh, God. That's going to be a weird one. It's like, Merry Christmas, kids. All right, I got to go. It's like, oh,
gotta go see your father, your godfather.
Gotta go see your tío. All right? Take care, guys. And they'll be like, what? Oh, man, hold on. Well, I mean, anyways, Yeah, so it's my weekend with to do the podcast with Hector. The kids are not here. They're with their mother. So yeah, everything's on the up and up.
Yep, yep, that is exactly what it is. Also, this weekend sucks. I just want to, yeah, Atletico Madrid just like
Wow, dude.
went to
Wow.
work on Real Madrid. Also, because I didn't go this time, obviously, because I had to work, but um, they did it again. They had La Liga came to pitch 25, and I'm really mad I didn't get to go because Guti was there.
Oh, I
Uh,
heard. I heard.
I was so pissed because if you guys don't know, I went last year for when they did like a watch party for that match,
Oh yeah.
and Edwards' idol Diego Forlan. Okay, not
Yeah, the
idol, not
freak
I,
not
not
well, he's
idol.
one of my favorite strikers, one of my favorite free kick takers. And I mean, I do follow the Uruguay team because like they're to me,
Oh,
you
that's
already
right.
expect Brazil and
We
Argentina.
both have soft spots for Uruguay. I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got Valverde. That's your soft spot.
And
Me, it's
then
always been Diego Forlan, but then Luis Suarez also
I
came up
was
from there.
also like the biggest stand for like Fernando Muslera.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, no, yeah, Diego Forlan. There's just so many things about that guy that I think you could definitely put him in the conversation of guys you can't hate. I'm sure there's somebody that might hate him, but I mean, I think that he played for what Atletico Madrid, played for Manchester United.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, so yeah, like just straight up lovable dude. And then he's the only one that figured out the World Cup ball for 2010. Which his idea was, hey, can I get the ball ahead of time? Which worked out because I believe he was the leading goal scorer for that World Cup. Um, but yeah, man. Anyways, but yeah, this weekend has been rough. The Houston Astros are eliminated from the postseason, first time since 2016. So, uh, yeah, what a run. But anyways, that obviously you're not here. We're not here to listen to my baseball talk. It's hard. It's here. We're here to talk about footy. And I'm gonna be honest with you. We did not really prepare well for the headlines. It was also a very busy weekend. Obviously, we also have an interview this episode, so you'll get to hear that. Majeeb Murana is on this episode. We'll talk about his whole thing with Technique FC. But so it's funny because like it's pretty much similar to last episode where me and Edward just start talking about EA Sports FC 26, which is out now,
Yep.
officially out now. But a big thing that happened also this past week. I mean, it is, which is funny because there is an award called the FIFA Player of the Year award, and we don't talk about that. We talk about this award, the Ballon d'Or, and obviously a lot of great names have been able to hold this trophy. A lot of people that Edward is fans of, a lot of players that I'm a fan of. Um, we got to see, and before we talk about this rendition of the Ballon d'Or, everyone keeps talking about how controversial last year's Ballon d'Or was, right, Edward? And
Last year's was controversial. Also, the I want to call it the COVID Ballon d'Or. That one was controversial.
oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, most of them, it's like honestly, there's some that are you're like they're clear cut. We know which ones those are, but there's some that they're just like, how did that happen? Or how did this person win it? Like we're we tend to fight it, Like we tend to be like, wait, this is not right, or how did this happen? Um, don't want to mention names. We already know. We've gotten a few, and one of them, uh, even if it's like not, I'm not saying they are not good players. He's not a good player or anything like that. It's just I felt that another player deserved it at that time. So that's my thing.
Hmm.
But last year's was controversial. Are you going to say the name or do I say it?
Rodri.
Yeah.
Look, the only reason why I don't view it as controversial is because I from the beginning kept saying it is going to be Rodri, even though I did make a stupid jersey bet that Vinicius was going to win it. But to me, everything pointed to Rodri. I think what they were able to do that year with Man City for, I believe it was a treble year, and then of course Spain's Euro run definitely gave him a lot of brownie points as well. I know a lot of people make a valid argument that Zubamendi, I believe,
Oh yeah,
came in for Rodri, and he was more impactful. Which, by the way, Zubamendi is looking like the best signing for Arsenal this season. But but yeah, I digress on that one. But I think at the end of the day, everything pointed to Rodri. I think once again the season that he had with Man City, and also it's really hard to try to use statistics when you're talking about a six.
oh
You
yeah,
know, like there's not going to be any statistic, at least people that would people value, because I think that people kind of view this more as an attacker award. Like, you know, they look at
yeah. Like who
the
scored goals, who has more assists, who's been involved in the plays, kind of stuff. Like that scored the goal. It's never about like, okay, who's defended the most or like how many goals did they. I mean, there was a time where what was it, Virgil, he wasn't a goal scorer,
but
but he was impactful.
yeah, and I think that's also, but then that also comes down to the fact that he's also surrounded by really amazing attackers. That year that he was very much close to winning it. That was probably a closest shot that we'd see another defender lift the Ballon d'Or. I think the last one was Cannavaro.
Cannavaro. Yeah,
Cannavaro,
that
and
was a
so
while back too. I feel
yeah,
like that. I feel like back then it was a more rounded approach to the Ballon d'Or. That's my opinion. My
yeah.
opinion. My opinion.
Well, and the thing is, obviously, a lot of people did feel it should have gone to Vinicius Jr., and I get that. The thing that I didn't like that weirdly enough they had to add to it was, oh, we're adding new criterias for the Ballon d'Or. So not only are we judging you based on your on field performances, but off the field is also going to be evaluated, which that makes absolutely no sense in the world. Because like, you know,
It's like saying
it's awarded to the best player, the best, most impactful player. And I mean, look, I one, don't be a horrible human being, I think is a very fair thing to say, but I think, you know, and this goes back to like people saying that Vinicius is this controversial player, and I don't see. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a Madrista, but like, you know, he's well. I don't think I can call him young anymore, but well, no, he's still very young actually. I mean, yes, he plays with his heart on his sleeve. Can he get a little heated sometimes? Yes, but I mean, like, there's a ton of players that also play with like their hearts on their sleeves as well. But and I get it that he's been very outspoken, said his things about like how his viewpoint of Spain. Though I will say the country of Spain probably doesn't help to defend certain claims that he has called out on the country of Spain for.
yeah,
I don't think they necessarily help themselves either. But and that's not just like Vinicius specifically. I know that there's been even there's been certain treatment over Lamine Yamal as well. So like I'm not, I'm like I said, I'm not trying to go into that topic, but the whole thing of him being controversial, I think, is an insane thing. I think once again people just trying to create like there's this friction between him and Mbappe. I don't personally believe it, Edward, but I can understand that people are just trying to create things to maybe
out of
less
thin air.
out of thin air to make lesser value to what Vinny's impact is. And this is coming from a guy that genuinely enjoys watching Vinny play. And even I said it. I was like, yes, he had a good year with Real Madrid. The season before. Obviously, we're talking about the year Rodri won, and not this past season. This past season was cheeks for Real Madrid. But I think when you looked at with him and Rodri, it went down to resume, right? Like at the end
Yeah,
of Rodri, what he did for the Euro. Now it could have been completely different if Vinicius could have been super impactful for Brazil. I'm not saying winning the Copa America award, but I'm saying, get them to the final, be the top goal scorer, top assist guy, something in that category, and maybe there would be hard to like not give him the award. But at the end of the day, I think it just was the fact that once again Rodri met the criteria. Uh,
yeah.
and like I said, I get for the people that want to point out statistics, but it's just hard to evaluate statistics for a guy that plays the sixth role. Like the statistics aren't just gonna And it's like you're being, and I think the statistics that everyone's looking at is obviously more attack based, not defensive based. So
Yeah.
that's my argument. I think Rodri should have won it. I didn't disagree with, and it wasn't. This is coming from a guy that's a big fan of Vinny, but I thought it was Rodri from as soon as that season was over.
Well, and that's the thing is he had impact in the game both for club and country. And like you said, even if there was an attacking base criteria that it's surrounded with on the Ballon d'Or, he helped with both. I mean, there was counterattacks where you're just like, damn, Rodri started it, you know?
hmm
He started it like all the way from his back line, took the ball, ran, tiki-taka maybe once or twice here and there. Other than that, dude was on point. You know, like
did you
he
believe it?
did.
Did you believe it should have been Rodri, or did you feel differently?
No, I felt like between what was it, Vinicius, Rodri, and Mbappe, right? No, it was Vinny, Rodri. Who was the third one?
I,
Who was the
mm,
third one? So I can't remember, but I know, but
oh, Jude.
Jude Bellingham.
I believe it was Jude.
So you see, and then at that point, and
I
Jude at the time, I think he was like his first year in Real Madrid, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean he played an amazing year at Real Madrid, also
Yeah,
playing a
he
position
did.
that he normally doesn't play. Um, but played it very
But
well, scored a lot of goals, more goals than he's anticipated to do because of the fact that what he was doing for Real Madrid versus what he was doing for Dortmund. But and then I think England. Well, that's the weird thing too, because England made it to the final, like the Euro final,
yeah,
and so yeah, because I remember making the joke, the battle of the colonizers. Um, but yeah, like I don't like when I think of that Euro, I don't think too much about Jude, which is crazy because I love Jude Bellingham. But
well, the thing is, I think that year, that's when like Harry Kane was popping off in goals and internationally.
mm,
Like he was popping off because I mean, if you think about it, the last guy that was like scoring goals left and right for England before Harry Kane came into the picture and everything, I think it was Wayne Rooney that would be scoring from out of the field, out of the box, in the
hmm
box, like scoring bangers. Like that was the number nine. Even though he was playing the 10 role, he was still that number nine. Uh,
hmm
and then also Rashford, but Rashford wasn't showing up. So then Harry Kane is the one that stepped up and he became that number nine
I
while
mean,
Rashford would still remain in the wings.
captain of England as well.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
So
So yeah, but I mean, there's also been some, obviously also one of the year after COVID, which was they awarded it to Messi because the World Cup. And obviously, I think a lot of people made an argument for Lewandowski. I don't know, that one was kind of tricky. It
that's
wasn't.
that's that's the one that I have a controversy with, but I'm like, you know what?
It's
It is
kind of
what it is.
tricky because Lewandowski did have a great year. It wasn't like the COVID year.
No,
Unfortunately, that one. I mean, that was an amazing year for Bayern Munich. I mean, that's what got Hansi Flick the Germany job.
yeah.
Just from that season alone. But I mean, no, but I mean, yeah, Lewandowski he still had a very good, sturdy year, strong year for him at Bayern Munich at the time. Um, and you kind of did feel like if it wasn't for the fact that Messi won the World Cup, he wouldn't have won that Ballon d'Or. And so I understand the controversy on that part. But I don't think it. Yeah, but as far as controversy, there's always going to be someone complaining. I know some people weren't happy that Luka Modric won that year, even though what he did was impressive. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he took Croatia. No one expected Croatia to make it to the final, and on top of that, playing so many games that went to penalties. That I'm like, I was like, I am so glad I'm not Croatian. I would be having a heart attack right now. Like like you have to think about that's like as far as like an American sport aspect is like having to go down the wire every single game. Like it had to go to like one last shot or one, it came down to the last decimal, right? To win the game. And like playoff sports, which unfortunately I'm not going to get to experience that this year. But it is like every play is just gut wrenching. if it doesn't come out successful, right? So like it's very overwhelming, and for Croatia to make their run to the final that year, like you know what? I understand why they lost to France because they essentially played like they played like an extra 2 games on top of what they were already playing with the amount of extra time and penalties that they had to play to get to that final. But yeah, I honestly I think Luka Modric won. Also, speaking of guys that you could definitely argue for top most lovable people. Like I don't think there's many people that will say ill will things about Luka Modric. Same thing with like N'Golo Kante and all the other great lovable guys. Like you can't say anything mean about those guys, is what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, I love that Luka Modric won the Ballon d'Or. I know some people found it controversial. I don't know why, but they did. But I think that we've there's times that we've had like the most agreed upon winner, and I think Karim Benzema, right? Like that was a very much agreed on. That guy should win the Ballon d'Or when he won it.
Yeah.
But so this year, we'll finally get to 2025. So this year, before we get to the Ballon d'Or winner, just want to say the Women's Coach of the Year award was given to Serena Wiegman, who is the coach of the England's women's national team. So, and obviously they won the Euro. So back to back Euros, by the way. Coach of the Year is Luis Enrique from PSG. The Women's Club of the Year was Arsenal. Arsenal's women's team, they also won the Champions League last season. Men's Club of the Year, surprise, surprise, PSG. The Socrates Award, which is given to the best humanitarian, was the Shana Foundation. So that was the humanitarian award. The Jad Muller Award, which is given to the player who scored the most goals in a calendar year, was for men was Victor Gyökeres, and for the women's title was Iwa Pajor of Barcelona. Which I get. I don't know. I thought it would have been given to Mbappe, but I guess Gyökeres was still really impressive. The Women's Yashin Award, which is Best Goalkeeper, is Hannah Hampton from Chelsea. The Men's Yashim Award was given from PSG, Gigi Donnarumma, who's now in Man City. We were there. The Women's Copa Award, which is given to what is the Copa Award for? Oh, the best under 21. Best under 21, which was given to Vicky Lopez of Barcelona. And the Men's Copa Award, I'm going to ask you a question about this after I just said. Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal. And the reason why I say that is because when Lamine Yamal won that award, they panned over to Rafinha, who was smirking. And everyone's like, "Oh, he's happy because there's no way they're gonna give Lamine Yamal the Copa and the Ballon d'Or." I guess that's a thing. I don't know if that really is a thing. That someone can explain that to me. Explain that to me like I'm 5. But that was like the weirdest, like, I guess, in some way trying to build some controversy for Barcelona. I think he wasn't smirking. I think he was actually happy for Lamine Yamal. That's his teammate. At least I would hope that, teammates are supporting one another when they achieve things. But yeah, so what were your thoughts on that initially from that?
I mean, I just think he was happy for him. It's not like he was about to be like super excited and jump up and down and start clapping his hands and standing up like he's like, yeah, like, like, no, I mean, dude, it's like, okay, cool. And then the smirk was more of like, I mean, to be fair, like me, I don't like to smile for pictures. I'm just like, I just do the half smile smirk or just smile with my mouth closed kind of stuff, but it's like a very chill smile. It's
Okay.
not about me being cocky, smirky, or anything like that. Or sometimes I just keep a straight face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, I'm telling you, if they would have panned to him and and Rafinha would have had a straight face, people would have been like, "Oh, he's mad because blah 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 blah," like because
Mm-hmm.
he didn't get that blah 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 blah.
Blah,
I'm
blah, blah,
like,
blah,
yeah, like
blah.
I'm like basically just making up controversy just because for controversy's sake. It's like trying to trying to stir the pot, and you really have no flavor in there. Trying to, just starting to start something out of nothing.
Hmm.
It's just like it makes no sense. Because I'm pretty sure Rafinha knew Lamine Yamal was going to be the young player of the year.
I
Nobody's
mean,
really stacked out of him.
besides Due, there's not really another like young player that had as an and I mean still even with Due's performance, it was nowhere. I mean, now I'm not gonna say nowhere near close because Due's year was amazing.
No, well, Duazir just in PSG, amazing. Internationally, I'm not going to say he was the best, but
Oh, that France team just disappeared when they played against
yeah,
Spain in that
yeah,
semifinals.
and I think that had to do with it too. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that had to do a lot. The fact that Lamine Yamal was tearing through the sides, I think that was like I'm telling you, like it had a lot to do with the internationally and on an international level, but also club level
Um,
wise. Club level, you already had teams that were already shutting him down, like not shutting him down completely, as in like they were already okay. He's gonna go that way. He's gonna cut in, and he's gonna go for that left foot. What they don't remember is like, hey, there's 10 other people. There's two attackers already on the field too. You would have three defenders, two defenders on Lamine Yamal, leaving Lewandowski open, leaving Rafinha open, leaving Danny Olmo open. Like it just click, light switch does not click, and
mhm.
so it just takes it just that's what it is. It's like do it. I mean, incredible skill, freaking speedy as hell. Like to me, do it is faster than Lamar.
Mm.
Yamal. Ugh. I mean Yamal. I'm over here, Lamal. Um, um, to me, like just by looking comparison wise, I could be wrong, but honestly, in comparison wise, dude is just like freaking speed built inside a freaking French package, dude. Like the dude just bursts.
I mean,
Um,
he literally burst into the scene. Like I think I
yeah,
don't think anybody was really talking about Desiree Doué. I mean, also that goes to if how often do you watch Ligue 1 to really know about this kid? And but he came in, and I mean, he got his spot on the field. Like to the point where they had to figure out how do I have Ousmane Dembele and him on the pitch together. Which the solution was putting Gonzalo Ramos on the bench. Because then you got Kvaratskhelia once again
yeah,
one of the best transfers I think for PSG. That was game changing
dude.
to bring that guy
It,
in.
yeah, it is. It is.
But yeah,
It,
but Lamine Yamal he wins the men's Copa award. I mean, respectively. So once again, he's just doing things that it's impressive for his age. I think, and
yep.
once again he's in America. He's legally not able to drink. So that just in America. I don't know what the rules are in Europe, but
Only in America.
the female Ballon d'Or was given to the dynasty that is Aitana Bonmati of FC Barcelona. I mean, if you guys don't understand, FC Barcelona in the women's game they're just a
Dude, they
wagon.
are.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, like someone's gonna say, "Where's Real Madrid?" That's we. Olga Carmona is now at PSG, so and that still hurts me. So
And what's her name? Athenea? Athena? Isn't she in Real Madrid? Athenea? I think that's her name.
Bonmati?
No, Athenea.
Oh,
Not Bonmati. Athenea. Athena,
yeah.
I think is like her name.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I do not really follow.
No, but
No offense,
but I'm saying, but
but
supposedly she's like one of those, up there, like in
no,
stats,
yeah, no, she's really good. Also, Spain's women's team is also
Oh yeah, dude, the
very good.
Spain's women's team is just,
England's women's team is also just very good. So,
yup.
yeah, like yeah, U.S. needs to, they can't be resting on
They
the
can't
laurels
just
anymore.
they
So,
they 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 can't just go back to the Mia Hamm and Alex Morgan stats. Uh, what's her name?
Rapino,
Rapino.
who is retired.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go back on the laurels and coattails of, hey, we won the World Cup back then, but now it's like, okay, you guys got to step it up now. I
Yeah,
was like, everybody else in the world caught up. Let's do it.
yeah, the women's game has now cut up to you. So like,
Hmm.
and they're playing very good technically. That's also what we should be pointing
That
out
and
for
then
Spain's women's team. But all right, so the men's Ballon d'Or. So I'll quickly go through 10th to 6th just to get it out of the way. 10th place Nuno Mendes of PSG. 9th place Gigi Donnarumma of at the time PSG. 8th place Cole Palmer of Chelsea. 7th place Kylian Mbappe of Real Madrid. And 6th place Hakimi of you guessed it right, PSG. so those were the guys. Anything you want to say about those guys? Like, do they belong in the top 10? Is there you're kind of like, I don't know how
dude,
that got.
Nuno Mendes, he was a beast on the back line, like on that left wing back.
Honestly,
Dude,
is he the world's best left back right now?
I think so. Like Marcelo, I mean, that was Marcelo's spot for the longest time, but now, gee, dude, like,
Bro,
dude's an insane. He's
once again,
insanely
man,
good.
PSG just so smart at getting these young guys, man.
Yep.
Like,
But it's like, let me put it this way.
The new approach for PSG, dude. I was like, you want to hate PSG because because it's PSG, but
Well,
I mean, like they got so much smarter in player acquisition.
let me put it this way. It's like the way that they're playing or the way that they're looking at players now. It's not like, okay, they're good. Let's get him. I think what they're doing is, okay, I think he has the potential.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get him. They work with him. They train. They do it in the academy. They go ahead and move and they move them up. And then that's when they see you're a beast. You're a monster. Even if they get him from a different like, let's say they go to Portugal, they go to England, they go ahead and pick up a player from here and there, even if they're young and they're not getting enough time, but they do see that whatever time they get, whether it's 15 minutes or 10 minutes, but they burn and they dog, I think that's what they go for, especially with defense.
Yeah, and I also just want to PSG once again in the Champions League final where they just obliterated Inter Milan.
And I think
and you had Desiree Doué, who became the second youngest player to score in a Champions League final, only for like the final minutes of the game for a player to come off the bench, and then he became the second youngest player to score a goal in the Champions League final.
My thing is, and think about it this way too. I think they also send their scouts and pick the players who are technically sound because a lot of their gameplay that they've been doing is so refined. It's a finesse, kind of like Luis Enrique bringing back the Pep Guardiola style, just a little bit more flashy. Little bit more flashy and also a lot more speed.
I mean, when you look at that midfield for PSG, you have, what was it, Fabio?
Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio Ruiz.
Fabio Ruiz. Yeah. Fabian Ruiz.
Fabian Ruiz.
Yeah, Fabian Ruiz.
You got Vitinha, who, once again, amazing chain of events.
Freaking
and then,
long shots. Jesus.
And talk about guys that are just good, like, able to get the ball out of people. John Evans. That is a disgusting midfield. And honestly, from those three names, I'm sure some people initially were just like, I don't know who those guys were initially going into the season. But, like, especially with Vitinha, a guy that, once again, I don't know what Wolves were doing when they had him on the roster. But yeah, no, I think that this team was good. And then they timed it perfectly when they went into that January transfer window. And I'm going to, again, praise once again for getting Kvaratskhelia because that was just the final piece to the puzzle that was that PSG team. And you know, they're going to be a good team for years. Like we're not talking about just last season. Like this team is going to continue to, I mean, League One, they're going to dominate, but in the Champions League discussion, because that's what really mattered to them. Yeah. Right. You know, yes, they want to win League One titles, but they wanted to finally be the second team in Ligue 1's history to have a Champions League winner. And they did it. Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast here to tell you guys about Canada Dips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canada CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BellyUp20 at CanadipCBD.com. Once again, BellyUp20 at CanadipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canadips for being a great partner of BellyUpSports. But yeah, I think Nuno Mendes, great shout. I think, and once again, it's cool to see defenders be showcased because Hakimi is also featured. His partner on the other side is
Yep.
also on this.
And they're up high. They're not low. They're not in the low levels. They're up.
Mhm.
They're actually pretty up top 10, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, how else can I explain that? Top 10.
exactly. But all right, in fifth place, Rafinha from Barcelona. I kind of wanted him to be higher.
I do too.
I think
Honestly thought, dude, I honestly thought he would have been third place. Honestly.
I think I had him at second or third. I forgot where I think I did third. I think I had him at third in my projections. Because I mean, he had a renaissance. Like this last season, like credit to Hansi Flick for just knowing how to get the best out of him. I don't know. I don't think he changed anything about Rafinha's game. I think what he did was just put him in a position where where he's gonna flourish, right?
Yeah.
You think of similar to like when Hansi Flick was at Bayern Munich, like Robert Lewandowski was already an amazing player, but he just did something different and he just unlocked a whole. That's where we had Ballon d'Or robbery for Robert Lewandowski. So
Yeah.
like. I think really maybe that's the reason why they didn't put him as high because they thought maybe it's the Hansi Flick effect, but also I think once again you have to award at least reward him for what he accomplished this past season because a lot of Barca fans wanted him out.
Yeah.
A lot of them wanted him out. They thought that this was a waste of money. Like whatever he did at Leeds is not being reflected in La Liga, and then. When Hansi Flick came in, he brought back the Rafinha from Leeds United, if
Yeah.
not better.
No, he resurrected somebody who basically was already nobody was really believing in him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was already like left out and he came in. And I think that's also one thing that Rafinha made like I'm gonna take this line from you remember The Replacements
Oh, okay.
with Keanu Reeves?
Mm-hmm.
Rafinha, he may not be built, but he's wiry. He's wiry. He's got that dog in him. So
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like the dude can change trajectory midair. I'm gonna be honest, Lewandowski, as acrobatic as he can be, he cannot do that. Not anymore. He used to. I'm being dead ass serious. He used to, but Rafinha and Lamine Yamal, both of them, because of the way that they are built. I'm not saying they're skinny, but they can change trajectory mid-air, which that has benefited them a lot, especially with Rafinha doing that, because a lot of the time you already see Rafinha on the counterattack, dude's already running.
Mm-hmm.
Dude is like, and then not just running like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and jog in place, and until I see the ball going, that's when I'll go full boost. No, this dude goes full boost from midfield and starts running, passing the offside trap. And then he just keeps going. And it's a lot of the times it's him. And he's
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one with the goalkeeper. If he sees somebody, he'll pass. If he doesn't, he'll go ahead and take the shot. So, I mean, he's the one that has created a lot of chances. Even if they have been failed, he's centered the ball. He's tried the shot himself. I mean, dude, Rafinha, he's got the capability. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, he's wiry. So,
Mm-hmm.
so
I mean, if it wasn't for a certain equalizer in that amazing semifinal with Inter Milan, by the way,
oh God,
that
dude.
I think his goal, the one that he thought was going to be the winner,
Yeah.
that to me was like the Ballon d'Or moment for him.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know if that's a thing. Like in American sports they have like, oh, this is this player's Heisman moment. If you guys don't know, the Heisman's like the award for the best college player in American football. And so like when a player has like this standout performance, it's like this is his Heisman moment. Like when I thought of that goal, because it was a really good goal by the way.
Yeah.
I was like, this is this is the Ballon d'Or moment because, like I said, at that time the conversation was between him and the guy that actually did win it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think it sucks that they put him this low. I don't know what it was. Maybe they're just didn't think he was as sexy, which is crazy because I think he played very well last season and he definitely was very important to Barcelona's treble, so domestic treble. So I think
yeah.
I think he was important. I personally and Edward, I don't know how you felt. I put him over Lamine Yamal.
So here's my thing. I actually had Dembele, Rafinha, and Rafinha, Dembele, and Lamine Yamal
Hmm.
on the top three positions. I had, of course, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal close, but I put Lamine Yamal above Rafinha only for his age
Oh yeah,
because of the contributions and
yeah.
his age. Because I mean, the contributions they were very high. But I think, like I said, Rafinha, I felt like he contributes a lot more team wise instead of individual wise, even if he is an individual player, because that is exactly what he is.
Hmm.
But he has the mentality to be like, hey, I need to do this. I need to run with my teammate, you know? I've
Hmm.
seen him get frustrated here and there every now and then with one of his teammates, but it's okay. I mean, I think we all get
I
that.
think with that age, at his age, man, he's gonna have those moments. Um, but yeah, no, and I get it. I mean, like I said, I understand. Like honestly, it's really easy to just switch between Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. I think that you can make. I don't think you're wrong for putting Rafinha over. I also don't think you're wrong for putting Lamine over. Like I think it's one of those like any given day, it could really go either way between the two. It
Yeah.
just depends how you feel that day for that player. And honestly, it could go down for that. But all right, so in fourth we have Mohamed Salah from Liverpool. Obviously, amazing season that he had in the Premier League. But that's my gripe.
Yep.
It was just in the Premier League.
Oh yeah. Dude, I mean, let me put it this way. Internationally, he he can't do too much. That's the thing. It's like, and it's not a bang on him. It's just in general. I mean, dude, Egypt is a good African team, but when you bring them up against some of the big clubs or some of the big teams in Europe, it's hard, dude. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard. Even I have to admit it. It's hard, dude. It's like me saying, "Oh yeah, let me go ahead and put El Salvador versus the second team of Spain." The Young Bucks. It is hard, especially the Young Bucks who are hungry. Their stamina is plentiful. You got El Salvador, who's already they got most of the players already heading out the door,
They're
not
just
even
happy.
in
They're
there.
just happy to be invited.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, and that's the thing with Egypt when you're let's say they qualify for the World Cup. I mean, dude, there's a lot of pressure on
Hmm.
a lot of their names, and literally the only name that stands out for Egypt is Mo Salah. Like,
Hmm.
and it's not like, oh, we have like a badass defender, like even a single center back. Like, dude, I mean, think about it this way: Netherlands, you got De Ligt, Virgil van Dijk. That's just the two main defenders that you really rely on.
Hmm.
I personally cannot name anybody in Egypt to be like, that's that caliber. That player
Hmm.
is of that caliber.
Hmm.
So it's hard. It's not a bang against Salah. It's gonna be very difficult for him to get it up there. The only way I think he can do it is like if he wins the league, makes it to the final in Champions, and wins the AFCON.
Yeah, and I mean that,
And that's a
and I
that's a
think
big if. That's a big play. That's a big play.
yeah,
Because
I,
then he'd be carrying Egypt over to the AFCON and winning it.
well,
And then
which he
also,
has done it, but the game,
but
well,
that, but
that
the, but I think that season
the
Liverpool didn't
so
win that
no,
one, I
yeah,
think.
you're right, but I mean like with Afcon, the thing that was I think crazy to me about because Mohamed Salah does play well, but he's not the reason why they win.
Yeah,
If that makes any sense, and I think because I remember it was when him and Sadio Mane were at their like their best, right? Him and
yeah,
Sadio Mane. Liverpool was killing it, and then of course they're both representing African countries. Obviously, Mane is Senegalese, and obviously, and we just mentioned Mo Salah for Egypt. But like they were both in the final,
Yeah,
and once again, it wasn't like while they were contributing, they weren't necessarily the reasons why their countries were doing so well. And I mean, this is coming from a guy that wants to see another I want to be able to witness an African winning the Ballon d'Or, because obviously the only African to have done it is Patrick Weah, father of Timothy Weah. He
yeah,
is still to this day the only African to have won the Ballon d'Or. And I mean, there's so many amazing African players. Like also, I mean, the day that like a North American is to win the Ballon d'Or, that's also gonna be insane. And why stop there? Let's get an Asian in there. But I mean, like, it's gonna take time, and I think for the longest, as far as for the continent of Africa, your money was very much riding on Sadio Mane and Mo Salah for what they were able to do for their clubs, which were in a great position. They were part of that resurrection for Liverpool, and they're not getting any younger at this point. For
right.
them. But yeah, for me, I really love Mohamed Salah. I just don't know if he, like, especially when you have Rafinha at 5. I'm like, I think that's where I think he should be 5th if we're going off of that logic. Yeah, but I think still a great player. Maybe hopefully he can have another good season. It is going into a World Cup year, so that's going to be a factor.
That's gonna be, yeah.
And this year we didn't have any international competitions that mattered. But obviously Gold Cup did happen, but I don't think anybody's like losing sleep on a player being impactful in the Gold Cup. But unless you're like a real big fan of what's the kid? Mora.
Oh yeah.
That kid's gonna be good, man. At least I hope so. But all right, third place we have Vitinha. Vitinha of PSG. And I mean, you heard me and I were talking about the midfield for PSG. Vitinha very much was a big part of that for PSG this season, for last season. And were you and I think maybe is this because of the Nations League? Did Nations League finally pay off for Vitinha in this aspect, or do you feel like maybe he shouldn't be the third guy on that list?
Nah, I mean, dude, Vitinha internationally and in club, bro. Yeah, I feel like he's up there. He deserved it. As much as I want Rafinha to be like up in that position up
Hmm.
there, nah, Vitinha did.
Yeah,
He did
I'm
his
not mad at
duty. Let me
this.
put it this way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this. I think so. Ever for you to know, I had Ousmane Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or. I had Rafinha and I had Lamine Yamal as my third. So you and me had almost the same top three. It's just that I switched.
Yeah, we switched.
So, but yeah, Vitinha, I think great player, very impactful for PSG. Was very helpful for Portugal. Once again, it just depends on how you feel about the Nations League. I understand if you think it was not a great. One, by the way, it was a good game. By the way, I just want to point that out. The final between Spain and them, like you clearly tell that they. If you're in the final, you're gonna want to win the stupid thing, right? Like
Yeah.
I've invested this time now. Like I'm here, like honestly, that's how I.
It's a piece of, let's put it this way. It's a piece of silverware that you can say you have. It's not the World Cup, but it is something.
It's just like everyone's just like I wouldn't even want to win that thing. Yeah, but if I'm in the final of a trophy that no one thinks we should win, that no one really wants to win, and I don't win it, then everyone's just gonna make fun of me for not winning it.
Yeah.
So like
It's like, man, it's like you were there and you had a chance to win it and you didn't win it. It's like saying, man, there was $100 bill on the
the
ground and
the
you decided not to pick it up. What the hell's wrong with you?
like the fact that like people were saying that, oh, if Spain wins, give Lamine Yamal the Ballon d'Or. Like that was literally the logic that happened with the Nations League. I just like don't pretend that didn't happen, listeners. That did in fact happen.
That was in fact a big ol' yep.
Yeah. So and
Nah,
then
but even then, like I like before Nations League happened and whatever, and even if Spain, they did what they did, I was still like, I gotta still see this dude play before I say, yeah, we give him the Ballon d'Or. Like, and I don't know, like maybe that's me being biased as well. Like the whole being a player outside the field, off the field as well, that criteria. Yeah, that
oh, you think that that came into a factor?
I think that because of the fact of everything that has surrounded a certain player recently, a young player recently that
We'll go right into number two, and that is Lamine Yamal. Second place forward, Barcelona. Um, I kind of hope that that wasn't a factor, but obviously, since if that's the criteria now that you off the field is gonna, I mean, once again, the guy that won the Ballon d'Or deserves 100%. Like no one else should have been voting for anybody else besides that guy. But like Lamine Yamal, once again for his age is just it's amazing what he's doing, and it's so unfair as someone that has to root against this kid. And earmuffs, Edward.
I've already moved on.
Earmuffs on. All right. This kid's really fucking good. Like, I think, sorry for cussing Kelsey. This guy is, like, incredible. Like, he makes Barcelona so much fun to watch. Like, I genuinely do enjoy watching Barcelona games, because of this kid. And, I mean, just the way they're playing right now, it's just very fun to watch that Barca team, play. But once again, okay, earmuffs off, Edward. But
Okay,
Barcelona just really sucks. So
that
like,
coloring book was fun.
all right. But yeah, no, I think hopefully the him going to the beach with a 40-year-old woman, maybe that hopefully that's not a factor. The whole having a 18th birthday party where involving midgets and models of a certain cup size. I hope that's not a.
What? My thing is the way you said it. It's like I hope it's not a factor by having midgets at a party and women with like D, B, whatever the D,
There was like
C's,
a. It was like
G's.
they had to have a certain cup size. That was the thing that I was
Let
just
me
like.
let me put it this way, all right? Now, it would have been bad if you would have had the party and you would have been like, "Hey, porn stars necessary. If anybody knows porn stars, let me know.
I think
They
he
have
also
to have
said
this."
blonde, blonde, and a certain cup size. So,
Oh man.
which
Well,
to be fair, it's a very 18-year-old thing to do.
yeah, right. I mean, for us, it was like if our friend brought a Playboy over, we'd be all, oh, like,
Let me get a few minutes alone with this
let
thing.
me give it. Hector, what? Okay, we're gonna go to a personal matter at hand. Remember what I got you for your 18th birthday? Was it your 18th or 21st birthday? I can't remember.
Oh, the Maxim calendar.
Yeah,
No, no, no. It was
the
the Sports Illustrated
it was
bikini.
basically on the cover it was Kate Upton.
Yeah, it was the Sports Illustrated bikini calendar,
Yeah.
which was a fun conversation to have with my niece. So, because she was like, "Why are they naked?" I was like, "Technically, they're not naked. They're wearing bathing suits, but."
They're just being covered by extra layers of clothes, just not the ones that you think. It's just a fur jacket just with the opening.
Oh,
You know, it,
I think that was all Kate Upton. Actually, now that I think about it, it was like all Kate Upton pictures.
yeah,
Like each month was a Kate Upton photo. The December one was
that was the one with the sweater and stuff,
yeah,
or the jacket or
the
whatever.
sweater vest. Yep. Yeah, that happened.
But basically, what I'm trying to say is that is a very, and you were right, that is a very 18-year-old thing to do. But except I don't have the money to provide for big, big booby girls. Like I don't. So therefore, the next best thing I could afford was a Kate Upton calendar.
Also, very illegal. What you're what you're implicating, very illegal to
Well,
do.
here, yeah. We're over here trying to talk about the Ballon d'Or, and apparently the conversation turned over to a whole different kind of ballon, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, enough. Bonk. Okay, enough. Enough, Edward.
This. Oh, Kelsey's gonna have so much fun with this one. Um, all right. So the winner of the Ballon d'Or is Ousmane Dembele of PSG. Which, once again, I think
Ousmane Dembele. This boy over here. Who's Ousmane Dembele?
that's
Chill.
that's what one Musa, which we all love. Musa is French, and he says Osman. So suck it.
Ah, fine.
So G Generation X like suck it. And so I love you, Musa. Fun fact: he played in PSG's academy back in the day. So fun fact.
Ooh.
Every time I talk about Musa, I have to mention that. Once again, Mo, I love you. Great guy, lovable person. I need to bring him back at some point. All right, but yes, Ousmane Dembele is the winner of the Ballon d'Or. I mean, shocking, right? It's not like we didn't touch up on this last episode. So, once again, I think this was the most agreed upon. It can only be him. Like the cake from The Office, it can only be him. It can only be
Yeah.
Ousmane Dembele. He just amazing year, impactful year, and I mean, PSG won a Champions League. You know, for a long billions of dollars, Edward. Billions of dollars was spent for that specific thing,
Yeah, for that specific reason.
and all it took was a bunch of young players on cheap contracts and going after Kvaratskhelia on a great deal, by the way. So, because I believe it was like 50 million euros, which that guy is worth a lot more than that. So
For sure now.
for sure, then like I was like, it was so for people that aren't aware about that, Kvaratskhelia just wanted to go. He just wanted to get out of Napoli, and which is funny because like not only did he win the treble with PSG, but also Napoli, by the way, won the Serie A. So he also got to be considered a Serie A winner. So that guy had 4 trophies in his bookshelf.
Right. That would be a good chat GPT cover there. It's like he's just reading a random book and then like on top of him he has all the 4 trophies there.
Yeah, that'll be the quote card. Quote card. But all right, if I remember to do it. But yes, Ousmane Dembele. I said my piece last week, but Edward, I mean, I don't know. I think we've said everything that we needed to say about PSG and Dembele, but I mean, do you see any controversy with this decision? Like, do you see if anyone had a reason to complain about it? Like, put yourself in that hater's shoes. Like, why would you say he doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or?
No, I don't have any controversy at all. I agree with it.
Yeah,
Like I said, my thing, my here's the top. Remember, I said I put Rafinha, uh, Dembele, and Lamine Yamal, but in the order it was Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and then Dembele.
I think someone's gonna use the Ligue 1 excuse, but once again, like, PSG won everything that you need to win in France, and then won the Champions League final. I don't think there's any much else conversation after that. And once again, Dembele was very much a factor in these
Yep.
games. Like, he was impactful in some aspect. Yes, I know the Champions League final. I don't believe he scored in the Champions League final because it was definitely the Desiree Doué show on that one. But once again, he was very much a part of the game. He was very much a part of the action. He was we all praise Inter Milan's ability to defend. They were the best defensive team, by the way, throughout the Champions League. And Dembele made them look like I was defending for Inter Milan. He had them on skates. Like, that Inter Milan defense had no real answer to that PSG attack. And you can tell that once Dembele figured it out, which didn't take him that long, by the way, he just kept doing it. So, yes, I do generally believe that there's no way you can argue that doesn't deserve to Dembele. Like, I get the people that try to make an argument for last year for Rodri. I personally feel like it should have been Rodri, but I think this is the most agreed upon one. Now, Edward, I need a because I was listening to Football Asada. I don't know if you're familiar with those guys.
Not too much.
Okay, you're not missing out on anything. Um, these guys said football won today when they announced Ousmane Dembele,
Mm.
and obviously implying that they did not want to see Lamine Yamal win the Ballon d'Or. So, thoughts? Did football win that day?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I said, if Lamine Yamal would have had, um, so here's my deal. All right. I think the whole thing about off the pitch behavior and stuff like that, I think that goes as an indirect to the players who are basically trying to ball out and say that they're the best and whatever, this and that and the other. And it's just like, don't get me wrong, Zlatan was kind of the same way, but he did demonstrate it on the field. He backed it up. Now, I guess maybe it's the way of phrasing certain things. And I think for Lamine Yamal and and his dad, it's like he's got too much. Remember, and we had this conversation. I was like, Lamine Yamal needs to have somebody on his side who's not just about the money, the partying, this and that and the other. Somebody who will actually sit him down and be like, look, bro, we got to be real about this. And a serious injury could end your career. Try focusing on different things. Don't just focus on blowing your money away. Don't just focus on trying to get your profile views up. Don't like try to focus on the real deal. Train your body for what's to come because then your mind will also need to be trained as well. Because you never know. I mean, shit, we've seen careers end. We've seen players retire at an early age when they still have a lot to give. I mean, look at Fenomeno, Ronaldo. The dude was a baller even after the surgeries, but his knees couldn't take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't. They couldn't. He could not physically take the pain anymore. So he had to retire, even if it was a forceful retire. Now, I'm not wishing any ill will towards Lamine Yamal. I just I feel like he just needs to calm down, relax, and just look at what's in front at the moment right now, so he can focus on the long run. Because at the end of the day, his goal is not far from I'm going to be the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He can accomplish it. He just got to have the same mindset as many of the greats before. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, let me put it this way: Ronaldinho, the mindset of him was, I just want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
He never once said, I'm going to be the best player in the world. They would tell him, hey, how does it feel to be the best player in the world? He'd just shrug it off and laugh it off and just be like, well, I just like to play, or, I just want to help the team. I'm here for the team, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like, oh, I'm the best in the world, so, and I'm going to show it to you on the field kind of stuff. Ricardo Kaká, same thing, humble. Dude always okay, well, God's made me have skill on my feet to be able to provide for my family. God, he always put God first. Um, Even Karim Benzema, never in me, never in my life did I think Karim Benzema was even a contender for Ballon d'Or, and yet he won it. Dude, humble, dude. And he never once said, I'm the best striker in the whole world. I'm the best in the whole world. Like, no, well, look at me now and stuff like this. He was always saying, I thank my teammates. I'm considered the best because of my team, because of Real Madrid, because of the French national team. Like the players around me, they feed me the balls and I score. Like, dude, you can't make that up. Lamine Yamal, he's the he's being contradictory in that sense of I do thank my teammates, but I'm the one that carries the team. I'm like, okay, like you have the capability to do that. Now show us.
Mm-hmm.
Like stay humble and show us. Just show us on the field. You get bodied, you get tackled, you got to take it. Because that's the thing with that whole cockiness shit, like that's what comes through. Cristiano Ronaldo, he was always telling everybody, I am the best in the world. I am here. But he, little by little, he started discovering, hey, I need to focus on my health. I need to focus on my family. And then he started little by little also expanding that view of I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna be the one to take care of everything. I'm gonna be the one to beat out everybody. And it was always between him and Messi, him and
Hmm.
Messi. And I'm using Cristiano Ronaldo as an example because it's like Lamine Yamal has that same skill attribute. He's got the flair, he's got the speed. Now he just needs to work on composition of his mindset.
Hmm.
And that's the best way I can say. And I think that is one of the key reasons why they decided to be like, you also have to demonstrate it outside of the pitch. I mean, because if you think about it, a lot of kids, my kids included, look up to Lamine Yamal. Now, if they were to be like, oh man, he's a party animal and stuff. Oh, I want to go ahead and drink wine like Lamine Yamal. Little 7, 8 year olds talking about that shit. Oh, you'd best believe some of their parents are going to whoop their ass.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
I get that, and I think we're gonna see more of Lamine Yamal.
Of course.
Like, it's the same thing like when me and Kelsey were talking about that the semifinal, Inter Milan and Barcelona.
Hmm.
I was like, this is not the last time we're gonna see Barcelona in a semifinal or better. This team is very much here to stay. Like when you talk about like all the things that we said about PSG, you can almost say the same things about Barcelona. I think that they are definitely getting back on the right track of things. Hansi Flick, I don't know how many more academy players I'm going to see, him utilize, but I think that this team is very much, you know, figuring things out, and I think in the first year of that Flick era, it's going to come back. Barca's going to be back, and they're going to be. I know the joke that many Madridistas make that you guys haven't won a Champions League final since what was it 2015 or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, you'll be back. Barcelona's going to be back, and it's going to be because of guys like Lamine Yamal. It's going to be because
Excuse me.
of guys like Kurbasi and all that. That like they have a foundation there, and they're going to get better. They're gonna Lamine Yamal. We're gonna see him in more Ballon d'Or ceremonies, and
Oh yeah.
it's not just him sitting down watching somebody else lift the trophy. Like he's gonna lift one. I
It's
am very
about
confident.
yeah, I'm bound to say that that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, it's hands down.
But and that's what gets me excited about this, like the going away from the Messi Ronaldo era, that essentially, like, I'm not gonna say they've ruined people's careers, but like
They stole the spotlight
they
from
stole this.
various
They
players.
took the spotlight away from a lot of guys. Like, there's gonna be times where you and me are gonna throw up like Sergio Aguero, right? We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about how good he is, and then there's gonna be some kid that maybe it might be your kids. Like, is he really that good? Like that's gonna be like he's like, I don't know. He didn't. He was no Messi, and it's like
And
that.
that
It's like
and
when
it,
what?
no, I was going to say, and that's the thing. But it's happened already with the sense of remember, I I literally have raised these kids and they've seen, oh, Ronaldo videos, Messi videos, stuff like that. And I went ahead and showed them here's Ronaldinho videos, here's Kaká videos, here's Dybala videos, underrated player. Um, I was like, you know what? Here you go. Goalkeeper, like Iker Casillas stops. Like, like trying to show them, hey, these players are out here too. Um, who was the other one? Steven Gerrard. I've shown them how they control Steven Gerrard. Iniesta. I've shown them Iniesta videos, Xavi videos, how they control the ball. Even if Busquets wasn't the speedy player, but it was like he had the flair to move the ball around him and take away defenders. I've shown him players like that, and they understand like, okay, so it's not just Messi and Ronaldo. Like they understand that there's players even beforehand. Thierry Henry, they asked me how did he catch that ball or how did he do
Oh,
the fake kick,
I
and I
know.
was like,
I,
because I was like, he's got the long legs, but his touch was soft when he wanted it to be. I was like, he could kick the ball hard, but he also had a very soft touch. And then with his fake kick, I was like, it's something that he practiced a lot of. I was like, and he did it a lot. It was something that it was only his trademark. Not a lot of people would do it on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told them that because they understand, like, hey, there's more players than just Messi and Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a while, to get them to understand that.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And I think, uh, and I think when they see their players, and then hopefully one day you become a grandfather, and they'll be doing the same thing as well. It's just going to be the cycle of this game, and that's why I can't wait for. And the names that are going to rise. It's funny because you and me thought that this was going to be Holland and Mbappe,
Yeah.
and we haven't. It hasn't been that, and I'm relieved that it's not that. So. But yeah, man. Anything else you want to say about this Ballon d'Or before we wrap this up, man?
No, no.
Yeah,
I
uh,
think we can pretty much said our piece.
yeah, we definitely did, man. So that is the Ballon d'Or, man. Obviously everyone has their opinions, their viewpoints, and I would love to definitely hear what you guys think. But we'll go ahead and take a break, and then we'll go right into our interview with Majeeb Murana. So be ready for that one.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of BellyUpSports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
All right, guys, bringing back a good friend. We had him on of last year. Jesus, guys, time has flown for sure. But it is my good friend Majeeb doing his thing. He actually reached out to me. I'm glad that you reached out, and I'm glad that you want to come back on this show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I just feel like I've recently seen some footballers express themselves between like transfer saga and just, people getting moves declined. And I just wanted to express myself too. And yeah, hopefully I can do that the best way possible here.
So when we last spoke, obviously you were in preparation for. Actually, I think you were one match into the season in the USL with Birmingham. Um, can you talk a little bit about how the season progressed as far as for the USL? Obviously, I think the microscope is massive for USL just because the whole promotion relegation talks that has been going on there. But from your viewpoint, how did you feel about the USL as a league? And with that promotion relegation, is that something that could be competitive towards Major League Soccer, which is obviously a league that you're also have some experience in?
Yeah, definitely. I think promotion relegation will definitely make the leagues more competitive, and it's something that I look forward to participating in. I think the MLS gets a little bit stagnant with teams just trying to make playoffs towards the end of the season and trying to have a good run. And I think promotion relegation shows a body of work over a period of time rather than, maybe just hitting the right speed at the right time, getting hot at the right time, rather than, again, a good body of work throughout the whole season. You get rewarded for that instead.
Yeah, and I think you made a really good point. Obviously, Inter Miami had one of the best seasons last year, only to fall short to Atlanta United, who I guess you could say barely scraped into the playoffs. But you're absolutely correct about there needs to be consequences. I think if you finish at the bottom, and I think also rewarding a team that maybe view kind of obviously similar to Europe, a team that has grinded out in the second division should get a shot to see what they can do in the top flight. But obviously, you played in the USL. How did you feel about the pace of the game? How did you feel? What was different to you with the USL versus anywhere else you played at?
I would say the USL is a little bit more of a street style of play. MLS is a little bit more tactical and technical, and USL gives you that kind of like street style of play, and players play a little bit more raw, is what I will describe it as.
Would you say you had more fun? I mean, That's to me that sounds fun.
Yes and no, because one, I actually got to play. So yes, that was fun. No, in the sense that I'm a kind of a tactical, technical player, lover kind of player. When you're supposed to play the ball to the right foot or the left foot so a player can turn and take a touch a certain type of way, it makes the game much easier. But USL, it's more like guys will just pass you the balls, and as long as it gets there, it gets there.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. That's actually very similar to how I used to play on Sunday League. So so levels on levels. But you did get a little bit. Your season did change a little bit. You left Birmingham and went to Miami. Can you talk about that move a little bit? What was that like as far as one day you're in Alabama, the next year in Florida?
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting time period. I just had to do what was best for me personally. So I took the opportunity that was available, which was Miami FC at the time. I also had interest from El Paso at the time, but me and my agent decided to go to Miami. And yeah, the rest is that.
So obviously, well, USL is already going on. What are you doing right now as far as preparation, or what are you still in the best shape of your life? What's going on with you right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been training all year. I kind of had a disappointing off season. From my perspective, I felt I put myself in a pretty good position to, be playing right now and get a couple offers or get invited to a couple preseasons. But for one reason or the other, I had zero calls this off season. So yeah, I've just been training all year, working hard. And I went to this combine with Tech FC, and I finally got a new agent. So just trying to build on that and get ready for next year.
Tech FC. So that is. Can you elaborate a little bit more on Tech FC? What is that all about, and how that
Yeah.
came to be?
Yeah. So, a guy named Asher Quavis, reached out to me, through LinkedIn. Actually, he reached out to me. We connected, and, it's just a free agency, program slash residential gap year for guys who missed the preseason period, who don't find a team, and guys who are still hungry and wanting to play and not just give up right away. They can, have that year to where they maybe have to focus on a couple other things other than soccer, but also still participate and stay in shape. And Tech FC definitely has helped me a lot. And again, I went to a combine in July, and I was able to secure an agent. I secured a trial as well, but unfortunately, I couldn't go due to some personal issues. But yeah, that's what Tech FC is about.
And I love that you called it a gap year, which I think for you, obviously, you played through the academy at Houston, you go to college, so you never really got essentially like your own little break trying to figure out who is Majeeb, if you will. Do you feel like this is what that door is opening for you right now, where you can get a better understanding of what exactly you want to do, not only as yourself but as a player?
Yeah, definitely. I think this time away from the game has taught me to trust myself more, but also just, I wouldn't say make me more of a man, because I feel like I've always been very mature from an early age, but it's opened my eyes to how things can change very quickly. And yeah, it's given me a clear picture of what I want to do in my career, and how I want to do it, basically.
Last time we talked, I asked about what's an advice that you would give to a younger player, and you said doing the right thing. Um, how, would you say what is your doing the right thing in this case?
So yeah, this is definitely something I want to touch on, because I think whenever I've learned now to try to not give people advice, because when you give advice, people hold you to that standard all the time, and nobody's perfect. And my advice was try to do the right thing at all times. And everybody makes mistakes, and I definitely can vouch for that. I make mistakes. But what I mean by do the right things at all times is, first of all, I want to say I'm a black man. So for me, doing the right thing is not the same as a Hispanic man or a white man. So me doing the right thing is, again, I have to look out for what's best for me. So that's kind of what I want to say on that. And just based on whatever is going on in this country and things like that, like I said, doing the right thing applies differently to everyone. And I would just say I'm a black man in this country, and I know what certain things can happen to me and what are certain things that can't happen to me within the professional aspect of soccer, and just also just the regular life as well.
No, yeah, I think I think we all go through our trials and tribulations, and I think at the end of the day, you know yourself better than anybody else, and I think that there's nothing wrong with doing what's best for you. I always think sometimes you got to make what everyone would view, and obviously, I this is where I would say forget what everybody else is thinking. What does Majeeb want, and it's perfectly fair to always have that day where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna pick myself today. I'm gonna put myself in front. It's not gonna always be a thing, and I'm sure maybe you picking yourself is gonna also be doing a good act. So it's not necessarily like being selfish. It's just, how do I take care of myself today? And so I think that still falls in line with doing the right thing.
No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, and but Technique FC. So is that? Can you tell me, like, because I know this was something that you were sharing me a little bit about. I saw that was kind of cool. You were showing kind of things that you've learned as a player, and trying to kind of push it forward, right? Pay it forward to the next generation. So can you talk a little bit more about Technique FC and what are your goals with that?
So yeah, I started Technique FC my sophomore year in college. I've always loved to train. I love to work hard, and I basically trained myself since the age of 15. And I decided to make it a actual platform again my sophomore year in college. And it's just an individual training program for players of all ages, of all techniques, and whatever. But I want to make it a thing to where maybe I become a coach one day for a team, or just work myself up through the ranks.
Yeah, and I mean that is definitely, you're saying you're in the gap year, you want to figure yourself out, and I think why not coaching? I know a lot of guys have done it, and I know from my time at the Houston Dynamo, I know a lot of guys from the MLS Next Pro and even on the Dash were doing some coaching on the side along with being professional athletes. But I kind of want to continue on with the pay it forward aspect. What exactly is your intentions in that part?
Yeah, I mean, I I've trained a good amount of kids now, and I basically just want to give out all the information and knowledge that I've learned to, I guess, make the game better overall. I think nowadays the game is starting to become a little bit copy and paste, dry, and we don't see as much skill and flair from certain type of players, as we used to back in the day, or the Neymars, the Hazards, who can just dribble and change the game themselves. So the name for my program, Technique FC, is about that. These type of players have just a different level of technique. So I just want to pay that forward to all the younger players that I can, and again, hopefully get into professional coaching one day.
I actually love that you're saying that because I think I'm only speaking for myself, but I think a lot of people value, especially in the youth rankings, is they only value like a certain type of skills. I think more towards athleticism more so than they do versus technical ability and guys that just have great instincts and kind of tell themselves that you gotta like kind of shrink yourself into this box, which is
Yeah.
like there's certain guys that you're just like you just gotta let him rip it, like let him do what he does best. More often than not, they're more comfortable in that way. I understand like understanding the principles of the game and understanding positioning and all those factors, but I think the fluidity is also really important for some of the guys. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of guys that had that kind of play style kind of fell through the cracks, unfortunately. Are those guys that you're looking to reach out to?
Yeah, definitely. And I wouldn't say I have a specific like player that I work with all players, players of all ages, all technical abilities. And again, it's just more about bringing that creativity back to the game. That's kind of what I want to do. Again, I barely watch soccer nowadays, and that's just because again, the game is more about patterns, 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 patterns. So I again just want to bring out the creativity in young people and young soccer players.
Yeah, and that's completely beautiful, and I think you kind of already answered it, but obviously you went through a lot of youth programs, you've gone through the college system. Um, like in your opinion, the pathway, the player pathway, if you will,
Mhm.
um, is it really as clear as some people like to make it appear to be?
Mm, I would say yes. I think if you put in the work and the time, the pathway is there. Personally, for me, I've literally ticked every single step that you can tick in the player pathway. So yeah, I think it's clear. I will say a lot of players do go missing within the system as well. Of like you said, they tend to here in America at least they tend to focus on the more physical, athletic type of player, and like you said, the more technical, creative players get lost in the shuffle if you can't keep up physically. But I'd say the pathway is pretty clear.
When I first talked to you, I really had very little knowledge of the college soccer world. I had some idea that physicality and physical ability is what's going to help out for those college players to like kind of get some strength in, get some more physical ability. But I was still very just it was still unbeknownst to me. I know there's value to it. I'm not saying that there isn't, because I think it is important that some guys aren't just ready to go up against a grown man that's getting paid to do this. But one of the things I've been more critical about MLS is just I have never been a fan about how the MLS draft is conducted, and I think it's because of the fact that like so many guys that do get drafted, not all of them, but I don't ever get to see them. I never get to see them on the field. In my opinion, obviously, maybe you have a different viewpoint on it. And I mean, I think it kind of doesn't help right now where you have a guy that's kicking for the Dallas Cowboys, who was drafted. But can you maybe talk some sense into me?
I would just say it comes down to levels. Again, going from college soccer to pro soccer is a different level. And until you experience that switch and that intensity, then you can't really like put it into words. And I think for the most part, it's fair the way it works. That's why there's Next Pro now and other leagues like USL and for younger players. But I think it's pretty fair. It's just a matter of the college game. Like I said last time, it's more about physicality, and the pros, it's about physicality and technique. And there's levels to technique.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so obviously you're talking about with Technique FC, you're explaining the guys how it is, right? You're telling them the kind of the realities that comes with when you go up those levels. Um, for you, would you say Technique FC has any certain pillars that they stand on? Like what are like the pillars for Technique FC?
I would just say trust your instincts. Like you said, I think I'm like you. I think you said it perfectly earlier. There's a couple guys where you just have to let them do their thing, and I think that's something I've struggled with in the past with coaches trying to make me play a certain type of way and follow this type of tactical instruction only. But there's those players where you just have to let them play because their instincts are usually right, and even when they make mistakes they probably make up for it. two or three plays later. So I think that's just a major pillar in Technique FC is basically just trying to train that instinct all the time. Like you said, for me, we don't do any physical weightlifting training or anything. Like it's strictly just we touch the ball and we just play, we have fun.
No, yeah, I remember watching like I think they gave a kid a kettlebell, and I was like, I don't think this is right, but it was like a small kettlebell, but still, I was like, I don't think strength training right now is what he needs to be worried about. I think
Yeah.
for a young kid, it's just about loving the ball, like having fun with the ball, identifying the ball as this fun thing, not necessarily too not it's not that deep, right? It's the kind of
I do want to touch on that. I see a lot of parents and kids and trainers focusing very early, kids who are 8, 9, 10 years old already in the gym doing heavy, like not heavy sessions, but again, they're already touching weights. And personally, for me at that age, you don't need to be doing any of that. You just, again, love the ball, enjoy the ball, have fun, and run around and, go crazy.
what are the age groups that you're specifically working with?
Specifically, boys who are 14 to 16. I think this is the area where your game changes the most because that's where you see the most physical change in the body for boys. And I think if you can hone in and again master your instinct at that age, then you can really separate yourself. And again, I'm not talking about weight training because you can always get stronger at any point in time. But again, that time period is very crucial because your body changes and you have to learn how to adjust to your body at that age.
When you think about yourself at that age, what was something that if Technique FC was around, what would a young Majeeb be doing?
It was around. I was training
Uh,
myself, but it wasn't official.
okay. So right now, Technique FC, is it just right now maybe just technical ability coaching? Maybe not. We're not going to see Technique FC and MLS next MLS next anytime soon.
Nah, not. And right now, I'm just still focused on my career and trying to get that back up and running. But definitely in the future, you will see maybe might not be a Technique FC the name, but I think you would definitely see a couple clubs being coached by me for sure.
I mean, I'm all for it, man. I'm like I said, when going back to my days in the Dynamo, which is also helps because you're my proof that I used to work for the Dynamo. Used to is the key word, but I think like I kind of talk about. I root for a lot of you guys. Regardless of where you guys are now in your careers, I'm always cheering for you guys. The wins, I'm all there with you guys. I'm always proud of seeing you guys doing great things. I love what you're doing with Technic FC. I think you're doing a great service to especially to the youth, and once again your version of paying it forward. And I think that's for me your version of doing the right thing. And I love it. I love seeing you guys win. It makes me proud every time. I was watching you play last season. It was really it made me feel good, dude. I'm not trying to cry right now, but it makes me feel good seeing you guys going out there and doing great things. I always tell the guys whenever I reach, when I'm awkwardly walking around Shell Energy Stadium, when the kids see me and they, greet me, I always tell them, man, just go out there and be great, man. Whatever that definition of being great is, it warms my heart seeing them do well in everything you do, and then including yourself, Majeeb. Like I said, man, you were one of the first people that really made me feel welcomed at the club, and so that always is very important to me. And I want to see you out there and winning. I want to see you win, whatever that means to you. And I really love all the stuff that you're doing, man. It's awesome, and I can't wait to see you back out on the field. So,
Yes, sir.
so I'm gonna let you have this. This is your time. You can promote whatever you want. Tell me what's going on with Technic FC. What's going on with Majeeb? Tell us right now.
Yeah, okay. This might take a little bit of a different segment here just because I feel like I need to definitely clear up something. I think we mentioned talking about what I think masculinity is, and I don't know how you're gonna put this in there, how you're gonna fit this, but I would say just from my personal experience within the pro environment, I think there's certain guys or certain players who after a while get comfortable, and I'm not a man who's ever been comfortable in my life. Like I said, I'm a black man in this country. I had my first job at Dunkin' Donuts at 15 years old, and I've worked multiple jobs since then, and all I know is hustle all my life. So, when you get in the organization or environment where there's people who are comfortable, who, they're fine with just making a certain amount of money and they're happy going home with that, that clashes with the energy of, I'm trying to strive to be the best I can be every single day. Um, so yeah, I think again, I've run into some trouble, demanding more from my teammates, and maybe I could have communicated certain stuff in a better way. But at the end of the day, again, I know what I give out, I can definitely take. And it's just about being accountable. And, yeah, I would just, again, elaborate a little bit more. I've had, coaches, dig me out in front of the team, which it happens. I've had coaches tell me not to look at their wife, which I don't know where that's coming from. I've had coaches' girlfriends send me pictures of them in half naked in a bikini, which I don't know where that's coming from. Uh, and I've had organizations ask me about the car that I drive, and I don't know what the car that I drive has to do with my performance on the field. But these are things that I personally know the way that I was brought up. You don't ask another man about his money or his pockets or what he's doing with these type of things. But these are things that I've experienced, and me being also 21 or 23 at the time and saying what I have to say, it comes off as arrogant because again, people look at younger men as, he's immature. But again, I've been working since I was 15 years old, and I know the value of money. So certain stuff I take very personal. And yeah, that's just kind of what I want to touch on because again, these are things that might or might not be why I'm not playing this year based on my reactions to these type of things that I've experienced. But yeah, I just think that I don't know, maybe it's only within the soccer culture, but definitely there's a lack of accountability for uh how do I say manhood or just respect. I've had coaches ask me, "Do I have a mom?" Just I don't know how a person can be comfortable just asking another man, "Do you have a mom?" Which is like, again, this is a grown man's mom. You don't just say these. These are things that you just have to take, I guess, and deal with it or just be quiet because if you react a certain type of way, then you get punished for it. And that's kind of all I want to say. But yeah, like I said. I would just say I wish and hope that, us as men can realize that, certain men don't play about certain things, and because you have a platform or you're higher up within an organization doesn't give you a right to talk about somebody's car, talk about somebody's mom or, diminish them because they're younger, but maybe they're pushing you harder than whatever the older guys in the locker room are pushing the rest of the team. So yeah, these are just things that I've personally experienced, and I basically wanted to get off my chest because I don't, again, from my experience going to this last off season, I think I did more than enough to find a contract and be playing right now. But that's all. That's all I will say. And again, I look forward to getting back on the field and handling business on the field because I definitely think there's a good amount of players out there that I'm much better than that are getting paid right now. But again, it is what it is. There's definitely conversations being had that I'm not aware of, but it is what it is, I guess.
No, yeah, I mean, no, I'm glad that you got that out, and I think it's important to. I think at the end of the day, you gotta stay true to yourself, man. Everyone, opinions are like asshole. Everybody has one, right? It's just the way it is. And I wish I could. I wish I could have been in that equipment room getting fired for you. So like, I mean, you know, there's no way anyone else should be ever in any way treated like that. And I'm glad that you put yourself out there. And I think at the end of the day, you're gonna have your opportunity. People are going to respect what you feel. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing is being in a place where you are valued and that all encompasses that. But like I said, man, I'm rooting for you. You know, if I'll be the guy in the Majeeb jersey if that ever comes out again, and I'm there. I'll find my way to fly my ass over to anywhere you're going to be at, man. But
Yeah.
so I'll be rooting for you, man. Like I said, stay true to yourself, man. Don't ever change. I think you're on the right side of things, and once again, I think your mantra speaks for itself. Is doing the right thing in your own terms, I think is the right way. And like I said, that's a great mantra to live with, especially with Technique FC, getting these guys to also believe in that mantra as well.
Sir, thank you, and thank you for having me. Thank you for your time, and yeah, I definitely, once I get back on the field, I will definitely get you a jersey for sure.
All right, and I'm losing weight, man. I'm gonna, you know, you saw me do the 5K barely,
Yeah,
but
I saw that.
So might be an L, might be a size L. We'll see what happens when we get there. But
All good.
But yeah, once again, man, I'm pulling for you, man, and I can't wait to see what else, man. Make sure you guys check out Majeeb, man. We'll put the links in the description just so you guys can check out Technique FC and go support our boy, man. I'm rooting for you, man.
I love soccer, Peggy.
All right, guys. Big shout out to Majeeb, man. Once again, man. I'm rooting for him. I'm pulling for him. I hope that he gets another opportunity to showcase what he can do. He's a really good player, really great guy. And yeah, I'm rooting for him and fuck all the noise. But yeah, Players of the Week is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an awesome ticketing site app. However you use it, it's really easy to follow. It's a simple grading system, man. It has numbers and colors, man. If it is really low and it's super red, that means for those seats for that event, you're not getting a great deal. Keep scrolling, you're gonna find a better one. If it's super high and very green, that means for those seats for that price for this event, you're getting a bargain. Go ahead and enjoy your event. Me and Edward, we love the simplicity of SeatGeek. We use it for a lot of the sporting events that we go to and also the concerts as well. So if you guys aren't sold just yet and you still haven't been certain yet on SeatGeek, for first-time users, if you guys use the code BellyUpSports at checkout, once again, BellyUpSports at checkout, you will save $20 off your first purchase. Some restrictions may apply, but you will get $20 off your first purchase using that code BellyUpSports at checkout. My player of the week is Christian Pulisic, who had a goal and assist in AC Milan's 2-1 victory against Napoli. Some people are going to tell me, oh, you're glazing the American, but you know what? He is being impactful for AC Milan. Like I said, what I was hoping for to see from Christian Pulisic is that he lets the ball do the talking for him. No more talk. Let's just get some action, and he is doing it and doing it well. Being impactful for AC Milan, this was a significant performance for him, for helping him out against a team like Napoli, who is also in the conversation to be top for the Scudetto. So, very good performance, very strong performance, very noteworthy for Christian Pulisic. It involved of both goals that happened in that match, so that's why he gets my player of the week. Edward's player of the week is Erling Haaland, who scored 2 goals and an assist in garbage time in Manchester City's 5-1 win against Burnley. Still, the man smells blood in the water. He's going to get it, and he did, man. Unfortunately, Burnley was on the receiving end of it, but still 2 goals and assists, man. That is very impactful, especially for Erling Haaland. But yeah, so congratulations, Christian Pulisic, Erling Haaland, former teammates, for being our players. Wait, were they? Or was that Gio Reyna? Anyways, I screwed up on that one. But congratulations to those guys, man. Thank you for being players of the week. Make sure you guys, once again, go to SeatGeek.com. Use that code BellyUpSports at checkout. Save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek, life's an event. We have the tickets. All right, guys, games to watch this weekend. We got some big MLS matches happening. We got FC Dallas taking on LA Galaxy. FC Dallas obviously trying to improve their positioning in the table to secure a playoff spot. Can the LA Galaxy play a little spoiler? They have really nothing to lose at this point, but can they ruin FC Dallas' season? We'll find out. We also got the Seattle Sounders taking on the Portland Timbers. little Cascadia rivalry, playoff implications. That is all going to be in that part of that matchup. And in Liga MX, we got Tigres versus Cruz Azul. Both teams doing really well right now in Mexico. Who's going to get the better of who? Could this be a potential playoff matchup in the future? We don't know. We'll see. In Ligue 1, we got Lille taking on PSG and Lyon taking on Toulouse. So some good matches over there in Ligue 1. In the Bundesliga, we got Borussia Dortmund taking on RB Leipzig over there. Borussia Dortmund doing really well. Last time I checked, are undefeated in the Bundesliga. So we'll see if they can keep going at that rate right now in the Bundesliga. We also got Eintracht Frankfurt taking on Bayern Munich. Frankfurt coming off of a big win against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Can they keep this form going into the Bavarian Giants that is Bayern Munich? We'll see what happens there. Bayern Munich, by the way, also had a big win this past weekend as well. Harry Kane also having a noteworthy performance there. In the Serie A, we got Inter Milan versus Cremonese, which, fun fact, Cremonese is undefeated. So we'll see what happens there, man. But Inter Milan is coming off of a big win of their own against Cagliari. Can they continue that form and put themselves back in the conversation for the Scudetto? And we got Juventus versus AC Milan. It's going to be juicy, man. Come on. It's two big clubs, two clubs that are playing in really good form. We'll see how it continues in the Serie A. In La Liga, we got Real Madrid coming off their first loss of the season against Atletico Madrid. Can they respond to Villarreal, who's also doing really well right now in La Liga? And we also have Sevilla taking on Barcelona. Barcelona is still undefeated in La Liga. Can they keep it going, or can Sevilla give them that first loss in the season? We'll see what happens there. In the Premier League, we got Bournemouth versus Fulham. I personally like this matchup. I'm going to be very intrigued. Fulham, I believe, is coming off of a win this past week, so we'll see how they perform in that game. We also have Chelsea taking on Liverpool. Yeah, juicy game right there. We'll see how that turns out. I think both teams are looking for a bounce back. No, wait, maybe not Chelsea, but Chelsea's definitely not looking like the team that I projected to be this season. Once again, I was hoping that I was jinxing them at the same time. So, hey, maybe it worked for me. But anyways, now, obviously, those are not all the matches being played. I know, it's not all the matches. But if you guys aren't sure, I think we gave you some good matches to look forward to if you are just very new to this game. So, and maybe you guys didn't know that these matches were happening. So, give or take that. But, all right, we're going to take one more break, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this show up.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at BellyUpSports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, we can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to episode 230. Is it 232? Is it 232? Man, yeah, it is 232. It is, in fact, 232. But, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to episode 232. This was a interesting episode, but make sure you guys follow Majeeb, go check out Majeeb, but more importantly, check out Technique FC, man. Go ahead and give them a follow on Instagram at Technique_FC, Technique_FC. So you can see, maybe you guys need some help on the coaching, on player development. Well, you know what? Majeeb is working his butt off, and if you guys need to learn about the secret sauce of being a player at the caliber that is Majeeb, go ahead and check him out. Give him some love over there. And yeah, man. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Thank you to Majeeb for coming on. And of course, got to give a shout out to BellyUpSports, BellyUpSports.com. Lots of great articles constantly being written. MLB playoffs, we're here. The MLB postseason is beginning. Go ahead and check out all the articles that are going to be dropped there. We also got NFL season. Obviously, we're going into week 5 of the NFL season. Be on the lookout what's going on there. College football is happening, man. And you know what? We're getting pretty closer to the NBA season as well. be on the lookout for some NBA content. So be ready, man. Check all that stuff out. Also, they're being very active on their social media. Check them out on X and Instagram at BellyUpSports. So you can see all the stuff that they're posting right now over on their social media, man. They are being very active. Go ahead and check them out. Show some love, especially if you are a sports fan here in the United States, man. Go check them out. Also, GolzTV, man. GolzTV. That it's free. It's free. It's free. I don't know how many times I gotta say this, man. Go and subscribe to GolzTV. Go and check them out. Go see all the content that you want to see. Go check out their original program. You will see me there from time to time at Wake Up MLS. So go ahead and check it out. GolzTV, Golz.tv, GolZ.tv. Also follow them on the X at Golz_TV, 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 and on Instagram at Golz.tv, Golz.tv. Also, if you guys love the intros, the outros of this podcast, and you guys need some beats in your life, well, that is made by none other than Roosevelt Spencer. He is the namesake of the Roosevelt Spencer's Player of the Year Award. We love Spencer a lot. He takes great care of us. And if you guys are in this podcast game, if you're going to be in this YouTube game, nothing beats having your own original beats. And I will be honest with you, man, that copyright strike kind of sucks. So if you guys want your own original beats and some really great ones, and you guys love the beats that we have, go ahead and check him out on Instagram at ThatGuyDope. Once again, at ThatGuyDope. Send him a message. Tell him that the boys at Insert Name FC sent y'all. And go give him some love, and he'll take great care of you like he always does with us. So, thank you, Spencer, once again. We love you, and keep grinding, man. We love you so much. That is episode 232. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, I'm on my way to going to El Salvador, so I'm happy to be back in the motherland for at least the weekend, and back here. I'll be back here in the United States on Sunday, so back in the grind. Like I said, I will make sure there's going to be an episode next week. So thank you so much for listening. Catch us next week for another episode. Take care, guys.